Hello children, class 10. How are you? Hope so you're well and staying at home and maintain social distancing everyone. I think you have been already been very much tired during this SA1 exam, and after just we will going to start again because this year you will never been stop, right children? So that's why again I'm back with a new video of class 10. Today's topic is railways, right children? Chapter 7 I have already started last video. I have given the introduction part, and this is my second video on this chapter. So this chapter we will going to learn about, your learning objective will be the railways. Children, railways, I need to tell you, I think if I will tell you the railways, your general information, a specific thing has come to your mind, that is of it is carrying, we are traveling to longer distances. First thing, it is carrying the heavy goods. Second thing, and third thing is that railway is for different distances. For it can be carried for the goods, it can be used for the passengers, both together. So here some advantages are there children, that you have to mark it in your book. Everyone has to mark it in their book, that some advantages are there, some benefits are there. Then why we will not use railways in for longer distances? We are using the railways, right? Railways are the main principal mode of transportation for freight and passengers in India. Freight means the goods and passenger means the peoples. Okay, first point, railways also make possible to conduct multifarious activities like business, sightseeing, pilgrimage, along with the transportation of good over a longer distance. This is the second point children. Second point children, I need to tell you multifarious means multitasker work it is doing, and whatever the things it is doing the business. Like children, I need to tell you that big companies like iron and steel, heavy goods are there. So which vehicle has to be carried, which means of transport we are going to use? We will going to use this railways for heavy vehicles, right? For heavy goods. Actually, I think children, you have seen the malgaris of different way, and wherever it is traveling, the for what purposes it is used for? For iron and steel industry, it is carrying the iron from the mines to nearby stations, to near to the where, to the industry only. So for their personal also, they are keeping the tracks, railway tracks, for shorter distances, for longer distances, for carrying the goods and raw materials, as well as the whatever the outcomes are there or value added products are there. Next, I will tell you sightseeing children. Here also I have to keep in one mind that one scenario is coming in my mind, that is of, I think children, in the hill stations you have seen the small track train, and that is called also toy trains also. So this for sightseeing purposes, for tourism purposes, we are using it generally for the different hill stations. Next, pilgrimage, along with, like if we want to travel, if we want to travel in Vaishno Devi, as an example I will tell you. So up to where we have to go, we have to go nearby to the Jammu and Kashmir. That so longer, suppose we are staying in Orissa, so from Orissa to Jammu and Kashmir, Jammu, we have to travel along. Then we have to take a break, and we have to use our another means of transport. So for pilgrimage purpose, for Tirthayatris, so these are the pilgrimage means the Tirthayatra. Okay, so these are the means for visiting to the god, that places are visiting, it's called pilgrimage sites. Transportation of goods along the longer distances. Third point is what? A great interacting force for more than 150 years. It is a integrating force. Integrating force means which is compacting the different type of factors, like which is compacting what? It is compacting business, it is compacting sightseeing, it is compacting the peoples, it is compacting the passengers. All the things are coming together, that is why it has been called the integrating force for 150 years. Okay, railway has been established in the time of Britishers. Wherever we have Britishers only established, they have started it 1858 onwards, and now we are having so many types of railways are there, for longer distances, for shorter distances, for for traveling distance, for that seeing the sightseeing and all, right? Tracks are in different way, different types. The countries as well as accelerate railways of India bind the economy of a life of a country as well as accelerate the development of a industry and agriculture. Definitely, in the agricultural field, the heavy goods are going to the industry, and from the industry, the whatever outcomes are coming, that has to be go to the market through this type of railways only. So it is also definitely a part which is integrating industrial revolution, industrial development and agricultural development, and they both into compact in one factor. The Indian Railway has a network of 7,031 stations spread a long route length of 63,221 km. Please underline children, this can be confirmed short question with a fleet of 7817 locomotives and 5,321 passenger service vehicles and 4,904 other than vehicles and 228 170 wagons as 31 March of 2004. These all the things has been given accordingly. What it has been given accordingly to the census of 2004. It has been drastically changed now these days because we have so many new railways, new types of trains we have, right, for longer distances, for shorter distances, for luxury, different purposes for us, right. Another point, another advantage I can tell you, the Indian Railway is the largest public sector undertaking in the country. Largest public sector. Public sector means I think you know that is a government sector. Acha. Now some controlling factors are there for which is controlling some railway tracks. Acha children, if you see in the if you visit the Himalayan railway, so Himalayan side, so there will be some that is a mountainous region, so there will be some factors which is controlling them this type of railway system. If in the plain land we are staying off, so definitely it is quite different than the hill stations. Another thing I will tell you, if you are living in the plateau region, so definitely it will be make the tunnels and all, and if you visit to Mumbai, there will be so many tunnels from Mumbai to another whatever the connectivities are there, right children. So there will be differences, right, and some physiographic divisions, some economic factors, administrative factors. These three factors mostly controlling this type of railway tracks. Okay, first point, controlling factors, what are they? The northern plains with a vast level of land, high population density, rich agricultural processes, resources provided the most favorable condition for their growth. This is common for all the purposes. Because why it is suitable? Because plain land is there and it is very much favorable for keeping the track and making the track. A large number of rivers require the construction of bridges across the wide beds, posted some obstacles. Some cases we have seen that the bridges are become very much that older one, so that's why we have to make it the newer one, or it has to be renovated. But mostly we have seen this is also a small type of obstacles are coming in the hilly terrains. Another thing I will tell, the hilly terrains means the high mountain slopes. Okay, terrains of the peninsular region means that all Deccan Plateau, Charnapur Plateau, this type of region, railway tracks are laid through low hills, gaps or tunnels. I have said na, if you go to Mumbai through West Bengal or some other places or Delhi, so you have to cross this different very big tunnels. Why? Because there is a rock structures are there, so that is why we have to cover it up. For that we have to use the tunnels. Okay children, in mostly foreign countries you have seen that. The Himalayan mountainous regions are unfavorable. Here is another unfavorable condition which is making the Himalayan mountainous region. Why? Because of the railway lines, due to high relief, sparse population and lack of economic opportunities is becoming very difficult. These are the problems of Himalayan region. Due to this reason it is not been favorable. So we have seen more or less all these railways are mostly has been made for the plain land as well as the hilly regions. Okay. Acha, another some challenges also it is facing children. Now you have to write down what is that is of your challenges. Challenges means it is facing some problem and it is also we have to fight it back for that, right? So what are the main challenges? Challenges are first lack of economic the western Rajasthan, swamps of Gujarat. Western Rajasthan means we know that is of the desert region, and swamps of Rajasthan, swamps of Gujarat means the muddy area of the muddy and that clayey area of the Gujarat. Forested tracts of Madhya Pradesh, Chhattisgarh, Orissa, Jharkhand. Orissa also we are having different type of forest, so that also definitely become a challenge for railway for keeping the railway tracks. Another what problems are there we are facing, that is of the contiguous stretches of Sahyadri could be. Sahyadri, I have said children, the Western Ghats also known as the Sahyadri, it is the continuous one, no gap or no passes there in between. So people have to make the passes and they have to spread it over this type of railway system. So definitely it will be a challenge for government. Then next, in recent times the development of Konkan Railway. Acha, that side also recent time I have said na, that Konkan Railway has been established. The development of the Konkan Railway along the western coast and has facilitated the movement of the passenger and goods in the most important economic region of the India. Okay, so that is also, we know that it is most economical zone, like it's also a definitely a business zone, like Mumbai, Pune, that region, and Gujarat also, right? It has also faced a number of problems. Another problem is what we are seeing, mostly people are traveling to one place to another place without ticket. Definitely it will be a problem. Another thing what we have seen, that unnecessarily people are pulling the chain. I think you could have been seen also every places that people for local trains or for the longer distances, some cases some people are unnecessarily they are pulling the chain. Pulling the chain means to stop the train. Okay, according to the stations they have been stopping the train. Okay, many passengers travels, I have told, and thefts, damaging of railway property has not yet been stopped. Acha children, another thing is very means dangerous issue, that is of tearing of seats, cutting it off, thieving. All these things are very much common now these days. So definitely it is also creating a challenge for railways, that how they overcome it. Okay. So definitely they are trying to overcome it. Now these days you can able to see that fine systems are also there, that different fine we have to pay if we are doing some unnecessary steps we are doing or unnecessary things we are doing. So definitely we have to pay for the charges for that, right children? So today up to here children, thank you so much for the for listening very nicely. So here some points I just recapitulate, that is railways are having some advantages. Second thing is that some factors which is controls it. Third thing is that some challenges it is just facing. What are the challenges? These are the things only of railways. If you learn this very nicely, you will be very easily memorized, and rest of your doubts has been asked to the Zoom class. Please ask, and you are asking, so and you are clearing your doubt definitely. So thank you so much children. Bye everyone. Take care.